But the first thing I wanted to touch on, Montoya, was that a lot of people actually approach Squadron 42 like it's an afterthought to Star Citizen, an extra, an add-on, something that really shouldn't be getting that much development. How do you see it, considering kind of you've been around for a while, and were you an original backer?
What are you saying? I'm old?
Well, when did you back the game?
1933.
Definitely old.
I think 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, old.
From the beginning. So yeah, I saw the Kickstarter when it first came out, and I was like, well, I don't want to back a game from a Kickstarter because what if it fails? You lose your money. So I didn't back it. Was it 2012? I waited almost a year later to see how the Kickstarter went first, and once I saw that it went okay, and there were still funds coming in and people all hyped about it, then I came in after that. And I actually had to go back to the Kickstarter before we start this video now to refresh my memory to see what they were saying about Squadron 42. And Squadron 42 was pitched, like as the join the French Legion and fight to save humanity by joining the 42nd Squadron.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pitched in the original Kickstarter. But for me personally, I just glanced over that at the Kickstarter. I was like, space game. There's going to be like a big PU type thing. And I backed. And the fact that there was Squadron 42 also was not something that I was overly, I guess, I didn't focus on that. That wasn't my focus. So I don't know how many people now are jumping in with the picture like I'm backing Star Citizen because I'm just so excited about Squadron 42. People right now are coming in because they want to get in a spaceship, they want to come in, they want to fly and shoot things and blow things up. So Squadron 42, I think for a lot of people, a lot of new backers, is more of an afterthought. But for a lot of the original Kickstarter backers, it was probably one of the main reasons.
Right.
Could be wrong.
Well, that kind of brings up the whole disagreements that people have. Some people believe it just doesn't matter, and some people that's literally the whole reason they're here. Do you think they've done a poor job of setting those expectations for people, not really letting Star Citizen backers know what's going on with the game behind the game?
Well, this comes back to how much information you want to release. I think the idea of Squadron 42 coming out and then that being your segue into the PU is the correct way to do it. I think the great example, kind of a close example, would be GTA, right? You play GTA story mode, you get a feel for the characters, the setting, the city, and then once you've done the story mode, you jump into the multiplayer part of it. Well, you don't have to, but it gives the multiplayer a lot more meaning, in my opinion. So definitely in the universe of Star Citizen, coming straight to the PU is cool, but it'll make so much more sense and add so much more flavor if you come in after you've played Squadron 42. Excuse me.
Right.
So I definitely think I like the idea of Squadron 42 being the segue into the PU. I agree with it. But I guess the question also is, is this worth the delays? How happy is everyone about Squadron 42 or the lack of information about Squadron 42? But again, how much do you want to know? If tomorrow they come out and go, here is a 3-hour video showing you everything we have, will you rush out and watch it? I know I will, but will it be the right thing to do?
Yeah. I think the funniest part about Squadron 42 is how it's set in the lore at a certain time. I think it's 2945 or 2946. And they know it will take place at that time in the lore, but Star Citizen's lore continues. So now we're in 2952 going into we're in 2953 because we're filming this in, sorry everybody, we're filming this before the new year, but like we're in 2953. So every year Star Citizen takes longer. We're extending the time between Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. And I wonder how that's going to like complicate their storytelling process because of that.
Never considered that. I mean, they can always change it.
They could. Yeah, they could. It's easy enough.
Definitely will. But I mean, we are due for a vertical slice on that. It's been what? When's the last time we answered the call? 2016.
Yeah,
we're definitely due.
So the vertical slice was a while ago, and that goes back to the idea: is it an afterthought because we don't hear about it at all, or is it actually super important and that's why we don't hear about it at all? And I mean, most people I think know the answer to that. But what do you like? What's the reasons for this game in your opinion? Why are they holding it to such high regard?
Majority of people who are backing, like my circle of friends outside Star Citizen who are gamers don't want to back the game. They keep asking me like, how's that game coming along, every couple of years. And I go, it's coming, there's a patch and you can do this and that. They're not interested. They want to know when the game is released.
Right.
Normal people will buy a game on release and then play it. So majority of normal people coming into Star Citizen, having to go through Squadron 42 is essential because it's a complicated game. Do you know how many keys you have to push to take off from the hangar, or even to get to your hangar? Like to wake up in the hab, go to the terminal, get your ship, jump on the train, take the elevator, walk to there, get onto your ship, push buttons to make this call, the comms, make them open the hangar doors. It's crazy. And you need a game to run you through that. At least a tutorial level in the game, right? The Squadron 42 will essentially be that tutorial for the PU. And in that sense, it is essential for that. And as I said, majority of my friends who don't back the game right now, it's so beneficial for them to come into Star Citizen by playing Squadron 42 first and then be released in the PU after that. So I think it's an essential part, not only for the tutorial part of the game, understanding how it works, but understanding the lore, understanding why some ships are cooler than other ships. Because you come into the game right now, like, why is the Esperia brand, more expensive than non-alien brand? Is there a reason? Is it because it looks cooler, or maybe you don't think it's cooler? Like, all that will be established in the game itself as you play Squadron 42. So I do believe it's an essential part of the experience. But obviously, where is it? We know Chris Roberts moved everyone to Manchester to work under one roof so he can push it out faster. But we are due a vertical slice. We're due something very, very soon because patience is running out for so many people on that topic.
Yeah, it is.